derby. We're not talking about the bank track marathons you may have heard of from the 1930s. This roller derby is a full contact competitive sport. It's massive in the States, and now with Drew Barrymore's film, Whip It, awareness of the sport has spread to the UK, and derby teams have been cropping up everywhere. To give you a flavour of the sport as portrayed by her film, here's a behind-the-scenes sample and interview from Whip It. And then we hear from our reporter, Jess Pope, who is interviewing a Cambridge derby team, the Romsey Town Rollerbillies.
This bruise hurts worse than any other bruise. I believe girls can do it all. That's why this film was so personal to me. Fantastic. I related to a girl who Ellen Page plays.
Is this what you do with all the girls?
Yeah, it usually works.
Finding your inner strength, believing you can do what boys do, and figuring out who you are along the way. Ellen's journey is really about the discovery of that.
I just want to tell y'all that you're my new heroes. Put some skates on, be your own hero.
That's a huge theme of this movie. Be your own hero.
As you can tell from that clip, roller derby is quite a vicious but exhilarating sport. I'm interviewing 3 members of the Romsey Town Rollerbillies to see what it's really like from an inside perspective. Dusty Knuckles and Betty Banshee are both A-team players who are always in the thick of the action. But first, we speak to referee, Penal Tees, to get a better understanding of those all-important rules of the game.
My skate name is Penal Tees. If you don't get the joke, try saying it fast in a slightly Australian accent. You get penalties. Bad ref joke, but I quite like it. Big part of the draw of roller derby for a lot of people is creating this alter ego that you skate as. For me, it's just a bit of fun, but some people spend a lot of time on picking that skate name and figuring out who they're going to be and designing their bout fit, as they call it, for game days. So yeah, it can be quite important. There's some brilliant puns, there's some terrible puns, and everything in between. But yeah, skate names are a lot of fun. When I describe roller derby to people who've never seen it before, I generally say it's kind of like rugby meets Quidditch on skates. It's quite a cool sport. You have 2 teams of 14, and there's 5 girls on the track from each team at a time, and they skate laps of an oval track. 4 girls from each team form a bit of a pack, like a rugby scrum almost, and they skate around together, jostling each other for position. And then shortly after them, the other 2 girls, 1 from each team, start off, and they're called the jammers. They've got a star on their helmet, and they're the point scorers, star of the show for the day. Their job is to get through this scrum, through this pack of all the other girls, without getting pushed out of bounds or knocked to the floor. Once they get through, they have to lap them, and when they lap other skaters that second time round, that's when they score points. And that's how the game's played.
Dusty Knuckles.
The youngest girl we've had, you have to be 18 to skate, so the youngest we had was an 18-year-old. And the oldest one we have is 43, I think. And then in the US, I know of women who are competing, maybe not national level, but surely within their own states, and they're like 50 odd. So I think it depends on your fitness level more than anything else. If you're a generally fit and healthy person, you'd be going to the gym, then there's no reason why you can't play roller derby.
Betty Banshee. I actually came to write an article for a newspaper about a year ago, and I had to have a go as part of the article, and really enjoyed it, and they all encouraged me to come back, so I did, and I've been here ever since. There's a real spread of ages that do it with us. I don't think there's anything sort of stopping you. You build up your physical fitness quite quickly as you're doing it, so yeah, definitely. There's a really good social scene. The guys are always going out all the time, and it's just so much more sociable than going to the gym and just, pumping away on a treadmill for hours on end. That's so boring and monotonous, but you hardly even feel like you're doing exercise when you're doing roller derby.
Go, roller girl, up that girl roll. Roller derby saved my soul.
A lot of the girls get really into it and really quite aggressive with their blocks and with their hits. The first roller derby bout I ever saw, a girl broke her leg, and she was at the other side of the track, and she broke it sort of visibly through the skin, broke it. So that was a pretty good intro to how dangerous it can be. But then again, for the next 3 years, I didn't see anything like that at all.
Roller Roller derby saved my soul.
A brilliant form of exercise, great social aspects, thrills and hard knocks, roller derby definitely seems like a fantastic women's sport that's here to stay.